First tonight on Our News Weekend, business owners here on Arawak Cay come to a terrifying scene as they stand back and watch their businesses go up in flames.
Plus, in less than 24 hours, almost 300 registered Golden Isles voters will head to the advanced poll. The parliamentary commissioner tells you what you need to know to be prepared. And later, tickets are sold out for the 2025 Inspire Her conference. I talk one-on-one with the evening's co-host about the empowering and enriching event. The details for these stories and so much more as Our News Weekend starts now. This is Our News Weekend. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Megan Shepard. Black smoke filling the sky near Fort Charlotte this morning as a fire on Arawak Cay destroyed 6 businesses and extensively damaged 2 others within the popular hangout location. Videos pouring into our news tip line showing clouds of black smoke billowing from a popular restaurant, Goldie's Counterhouse, engulfed in flames. From there, the fire spread. Our Danielle Miller was on the scene as firefighters fought to contain the blaze.
A signal of smoke could be seen from many angles on the island early Sunday morning, an indication of a blaze leading to Arawak Cay.
When I came, I see the big bundle of smoke. So when I looked, everything was already engulfed in flames. So I said, wow. They said Goldie is already burned out.
That's area resident Alfred Brown, recounting to me what he witnessed early Sunday morning. When we arrived on scene after 9 a.m., we met firefighters aggressively trying to contain the flames. Meanwhile, police with their hands full trying to manage the hazardous scene. Administrator for Fire Services, Quincy McGregor, says they received reports of the fire around 8:45 a.m.
Upon arrival, officers met a 2-story wooden structure engulfed in flames, and the fire was aggressively attacked, brought under control, and extinguished. However, the building was destroyed along with 5 other buildings nearby.
The building, a newly renovated Goldie's Counterhouse, now reduced to mere rubble. Owner Kirkland Goldie Evans, not on island at the time. His daughter and restaurant manager, Kenya Mitchell, says she began to tremble soon after getting the call.
So we were running around this restaurant from children, and we saw him progress, and, it is just so sad.
Owner of On the Edge restaurant says she witnessed the fire move rapidly, destroying her stall in the process. With less than 5 years in operation, she is now forced to rebuild.
I completely lost everything, so it's hard to even come here this morning and actually see that when you come to work, a full day's work with your employees, to make sure that everything goes smooth and this would happen.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Danielle Miller.
Also on scene of that blaze this morning, government officials, candidates vying to represent the Fort Charlotte area, and Prime Minister Philip Davis. Davis calling today's incident another tragedy that strikes at the heart of our economy. Noting the importance of the popular spot, he notes that it impacts the tourism product and the livelihood of many Bahamians.
This is a tragedy for them. There's a loss of business. That means persons who work there will be out of a job for a while. It'll take at least a time for them to get back up. But we, as government, will stand behind them to see how we can get them back as quickly as possible.
Davis says he plans to meet with business owners impacted by the fire tomorrow morning, and they will try to begin the cleanup efforts right away. While noting that the incident is unfortunate, he says the bright side is that this gives them an opportunity to revitalize Arawak Cay.
For quite some time, you're thinking about how we could redevelop Arawak Cay to ensure proper sanitation, minimize fire hazards, and to ensure that this place is healthy. And so this gives us that opportunity to continue, particularly we could start on this side.
Meantime, police on the island of Andros in the community of Mangrove Cay launching an investigation into the discovery of a deceased male on Linda Cay. Initial reports say the victim left Lisbon Creek in a 16-foot dinghy with a 40-horsepower engine sometime around 8 p.m. on Saturday. He did not return. However, his dinghy was located shortly before 7 a.m. this morning near Linda Cay, opposite Lisbon Creek, docked with the engine cover off. Police and other government officials searched for the missing male, whose body was found on Linda Cay unresponsive. The body was transported to the local clinic where it was examined by a doctor and pronounced dead. At this time, foul play is not suspected, and an autopsy will be done to assist in determining the exact cause of death. Well, Brooklyn Bridge, the barge that ran aground off North Abaco earlier this week, has been successfully refloated and removed from the reef. The Port Department making that announcement yesterday. Arrangements are underway to tow the barge to Jacksonville, Florida, where it will undergo a thorough inspection and inventory review. A specialized team will soon return to the site to conduct a comprehensive sweep of the seabed and recover any cargo that may have been lost overboard. The statement adds that a preliminary environmental assessment will be carried out to evaluate any potential environmental impact. Should damages be identified, legal penalties will be imposed on the barge in accordance with established regulations. Well, the Free National Movement wrapping up their weekend of campaigning ahead of the advance poll tomorrow in the House of the Lord. Candidate for Golden Isles Brian Brown worshiping at Southside Christian Church International. But also in attendance, the Progressive Liberal Party's candidate Darren Pickstock. Senior pastor Apostle Dr. C. Clifford Smith III making light of the political climate, saying he began praying when he got the call that both parties would be in attendance. His message today focusing on the characteristics of kingdom leadership.
Know who you are first and foremost. When you're going to lead a people, you have to know who they are. You have to remember that every single person is someone for whom Christ died. That means you got to be careful how you handle them. It means at the end of the day, you got to be careful how you deal with them. Because no matter what side of the divide you're on, if you're in the Bahamas, and we are a people that by constitution, we have this affiliation to Christianity. I want to say it that way. We're not a theocracy, but we are a democracy that believes in the supremacy of God, and we do believe in the Bible. And so if you come to God through Jesus Christ, you are somebody special. So it doesn't matter what color Kool-Aid you drink.
The senior pastor emphasizing the need for good leadership for the Bahamian people. He also had this message about remaining united at the end of the election, remembering that we are called by God to remember who we are.
Whenever I talk to people that are involved in politics, I always say that our differences in party are only a difference in philosophy, but we are the same people. And at the end of the day, it is very important. I'm going to say this a lot. No matter who is the winner next week, please understand that it comes back to the community to come together and to build, to come together and to pray, to come together and to have community, to come together and remember to be civil in our dealings. One of the problems that we have is that we tend to think in political divide that the person on the other side of the philosophy is your enemy. That's not your enemy. We just differ in opinion.
While the advance poll for the upcoming by-election to determine the next member of parliament for the Golden Isles constituency is just under 24 hours away, and candidates are ready. The PLP ratified Darren Pickstock, the FNM ratified Brian Brown, the COI ratified Brian Roll, and independent candidate Karen Butler will also be represented on the ballot. We had a chance to speak with 3 parties this week, and they all seem confident in the work they've done so far. PLP candidate Darren Pickstock says canvassing the community has yielded positive results.
Things have been going smoothly. We have been received positively by the residents of Golden Isles, and I just want to thank the residents of Golden Isles for welcoming me into their homes and on their porches and trusting me with their stories. So far, things have been going good. We've been listening to the concerns of residents, and we have been acting on concerns of some of the concerns of the residents.
Speaking at the F&M's rally in the Alley and Dignity Gardens this week, candidate Brian Brown says he is prepared to seal the deal. Meanwhile, Coalition of Independents leader Lincoln Bain says Brian Roll is qualified for the job.
We're going to start on this coming Monday, where the law enforcement will go to the polls. I know all of them by name. And I'm going to get 99% of their votes from Golden Hives on Monday.
I think that the candidates are qualified Bahamians, and that's the kind of people that the COI has been attracting. Qualified Bahamians who feel that politicians have been failing us. We've had qualified Bahamians in the PLP and F&M of recent years, but they've always failed us, and it's because the party has been failing us, and they can't do anything that the party doesn't want them to do.
And some 283 registered voters in the Golden Isles constituency will head to Remnant Tabernacle Church to cast their vote in that advance poll. Constituents will choose between 4 candidates vying to represent the Golden Isles constituency. Just less than 2 months since the passing of former MP Vaughn Miller. Monday's advanced poll is just the first step toward choosing a new member of parliament for Golden Isles. The journey to the polls began with the sudden passing of former MP Vaughn Miller on September 8th. By law, the government had to call a by-election within 60 days, but that by-election didn't come immediately. Opposition leader Michael Pintard was not initially in favor of a by-election, publicly expressing hesitation as the Free National Movement weighed whether contesting the seat made strategic sense, with a general election scheduled for sometime next year. Meanwhile, the Progressive Liberal Party eventually moved forward with its ratification process, confirming Darren Pickstock as its candidate for Golden Isles. On October 22nd, in the House of Assembly, Minister of National Security Wayne Munro announced a November 24th date for the by-election. The F&M followed with the ratification of Brian Brown on October 29th. Additional candidates entering the race include Brian Roll, who carries the banner for the Coalition of Independents. Karen Butler is the sole independent candidate. And now, after weeks of political maneuvering, Golden Isles voters finally get their first chance to weigh in. It's a contest that will be watched closely, not just for who wins the seat, but many believe the results may signal a look into the national political climate. Now, this will be the second by-election since the Davis administration took office in 2021. The first took place in West Grand, Bahama and Bimini in 2023, following the death of MP Obi Wilshcombe. The advance polls open at 8 a.m. Nearly 8,000 people are registered for the November 24th by-election in Golden Isles, and 283 of them will head to the polls tomorrow at Remnant Tabernacle Church for the advance poll. Those numbers provided to our news team by Parliamentary Commissioner Harrison Thompson recently. Registration has been temporarily closed in that constituency, the largest right now in the country. Thompson says they're ready to receive those who come with special needs on Monday.
Golden Isles is 7,926. That's the largest in the country, and the largest it's ever been. It is equipped, and we have an officer that has been assigned to address issues dealing with senior citizens or disabled persons. So we're ready. We're using the auditorium at the church, so we shouldn't have no challenges.
He also provided this update on overall registration for the upcoming general election.
Registration has been going extremely well. We have over 9,000, 7,000 persons, 196,000, on the register. I was talking about Golden Isles, 7,926 on the register for the advance poll and the by-election. But the general elections, we have 196,200 plus on the register now, and we're continuing to register persons. Only Golden Isles, we have taken a break until after the by-election.
When we come back from the break, it's all about inspiration, elevation, and empowerment. Cable Bahamas Group of Companies 2025 Inspire Her conference may be all sold out, but for ticket holders, anticipation is high. We've got more in our news weekend continues.
Family. how you look so down. Set up all cold and flu, could flip that frown. All the coughing and that running nose cannot last. You must come back to work and class. Set up all can deal with that fast, yeah. Try set up all cold and flu, daytime and nighttime too. Try Cetamol, cold and flu, and get back to the better you. Available at pharmacies nationwide.
Distributed by Lowe's Wholesale Drug Agencies Limited.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them blue for me and you. And I say to myself, what a wonderful
Empower, Elevate, Enrich. The Cable Bahamas group of companies Inspire Her conference is back for its 4th year. And co-host Stacey Campbell-Marshall tells me attendees can expect an even bigger and better opportunity to learn, grow, network, and so much more.
We really wanted to create a space where women could come together, they can network. And you know how in the Bahamas it's really, really small here, right? But it's also really big. And you've got that woman that you may admire from afar, and maybe you're like, oh, I don't really know how to approach her. I'm not really sure how things, should go. We are encouraging everyone to put on your courage and come that night, meet someone new, get the business card, make that coffee date, and really step out of your comfort zone to meet somebody new. Of course, we've got Tabitha Brown. Everybody knows Auntie Tab. We love her here in the Bahamas, and we're so very excited about her being here. And we've got Deborah Lee, Ms. Deborah Lee, who was the first female CEO at BET. So we're really excited about a big evening this year for Inspire Her.
And the goal is not only to inspire women, but to truly ignite transformation and to change. And Campbell-Marshall says thanks to generous sponsors, there will be prizes and surprises.
We do have some really great prizes and surprises, and we want to say thank you to all of our sponsors, but especially our tighter sponsors, UNECTO and, of course, Bahamar. And it's going to be here at the beautiful Bahamar Resort. We also have our local Dr. Iandra Smith-Bryan, who's going to be giving a TED Talk that evening. She is a big deal in fintech, and she is a Bahamian, so we're really proud to have her that evening. So we're just super excited. We are sold out. We are sold out of VIP and general admission as well. And so we're just so glad that that room is going to be filled with women who are ready to just experience all that Cable Bahamas has put together, Cable Bahamas group of companies and Alive has put together.
And here's her bit of Inspire Her advice.
As women, I want us to really get that there is room enough for us all to be great. We don't have to tear down another woman. We don't have to talk about them and wish for them, what they have. If you listen to Tabitha Brown's book, it really drives home the point that, hey, we all can do our thing. Let's just do our thing. And that's one of the messages that I really want to get out there. We can pull another woman along, and that's why we want everybody to network. We want you to go out there and meet someone that you have admired or is doing something that you want to do.
Still to come, a former pro baseball player hosted camp in Grand Bahama, and we get caught up on the hardwood. We got all that coming up next on our Sports Weekend.
Family, how you look so down. Set up all cold and flu, could flip that frown. All the coughing and that running nose cannot last. You must come back to work and class. Set up all can deal with that fast, yeah. Try set up all cold and flu, daytime and nighttime too. Try Cetamol, cold and flu, and get back to the better you. Available at pharmacies nationwide.
Distributed by Lowe's Wholesale Drug Agencies Limited.
trees of green, red roses too. I see them blue for me and you. And I say to myself, what a wonderful
morning, I'm Tage Adderley, and we are back with our Sports Weekend. Chavez Young of Grand Bahama has spent over a decade playing professional baseball in several minor and independent leagues and with Great Britain. He shared some of the skills that he picked up along the way with the next generation in Grand Bahama.
So basically, just a little give back. Obviously, being where I come from, Freeport, Grand Bahama, I just want to, give back to my roots. And I just understand, being in a position with these younger kids, they would want somebody to come back and do something free and, and be here for them.
That's professional baseball player and Grand Bahama native Chavez Young. He was back at home to share knowledge he acquired in his decade in the pros with the next generation at his Island Dreams camp at the YMCA field yesterday. The free camp taught over 200 kids the fundamentals of baseball, including hitting, fielding, base running, and game strategy. The kids also got some time to personally talk to Chavez and other pros about their experiences. This may have been his first camp, but now that Young has the backing of Major League Baseball's Players Alliance, Young plans on doing this every year.
So I plan to be annually, make this a well-running machine, but I want to put a good shout out to MLB Players Alliance, who've partnered with me in the U.S. and donate lots of equipment for these kids.
According to Young, Grand Bahama baseball and softball stalwart Sonia Knowles was instrumental in organizing and executing the camp. She said she wants to make sure that Grand Bahama talent gets the exposure that it deserves.
And dealing with Chavez, this is something Chavez wanted to do from months ago, and sometimes everybody need a little push, and I had to give him that push because we have to now recognize Grand Bahama. We have a lot of diamonds in the park here, and we want to use our players, and we want to make sure that they can get seen by persons all around the world because our kids deserve a chance. We wanted to give the Freeport kids a chance to meet up with some of the MLB players so that they can not just give up on this baseball as a career. It doesn't even have to be a career for them. It can be a gateway for them to go to college as well.
And that's great work by Young and by Knowles. Grand Bahama has a ton of talent, so hopefully the camp can shine a light on them for years to come. Now we talk hoops. Bahamas did their thing in the NBA and in college last night. Let's take a look. DeAndre Ayton stepped up to help the LA Lakers get a 119-95 win over the Milwaukee Bucks. The center from New Providence had 20 points in the win. Frederick King also had a big night to lead his Murray State Racers to a 99-78 win over the Nickel State Colonels. The big fella from South Andros bullied his way to 24 points while grabbing 10 rebounds, swiping 2 steals, and he closed down the paint with 5 blocks. Dayton Aubrey had 18 points and 6 rebounds as his New Mexico Lobos fell to heated in-state rival New Mexico State. Donnie Freeman had 13 points, 9 of which came in the first half in Syracuse's 80-50 win over Drexel at the Autumn Invitational in Philadelphia. And if you want to feel old, Keon Anthony, son of former NBA great Carmelo, led Syracuse in scoring with 18 points in front of his dad and his former high school teammate and Freeman's Bahamas national teammate VJ Edgecombe. The Bahamian duo of Danico Lightburn and Rima Collins powered Florida International University to an 81-68 win over Bethune-Cookman. Collins came off the bench for a double-double, scoring 17 points and snatching 10 rebounds in only 20 minutes of play to lead the team. Lightburn, who's averaging 21 points per game on the season, had 3 in this one. And before we go, the women's national basketball team played earlier this afternoon. The results should be on our socials. Well, that's a wrap for sports today. For our Sports Weekend, I'm Tage Adderley. I'll see you on Saturday.
Thanks so much, Tage. On the other side of this break, meteorologist Ian McKinsey steps into the weather center. He's got a check on temperatures and conditions across the country. Stick with us.
Family, how you look so down? Set up all cold and flu, could flip that frown. All the coughing and that running nose cannot last. You must come back to work and class. Set up all can deal with that fast, yeah. Try set up all cold and flu, daytime and nighttime too. Try Cetamol, cold and flu, and get back to the better you. Available at pharmacies nationwide.
Distributed by Lowe's Wholesale Drug Agencies Limited.
They're blue for me and you, and I say to myself, what a wonderful world.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. Here's a look now at your Sunday evening forecast. We are currently outside our studios under partly cloudy skies with a temperature 72. Feels like the same at 72. Winds from the northwest at 6 miles per hour. Across the country, we have 72s in Freeport as well as Nicholstown and in the capital, 75 in Allenstown, 73 in Great Harbor Cay, pair of 74s in Marsh Harbor and Governor's Harbour, Luther. Central Bahamas 74s continuing in Kemps Bay, Black Point, Georgetown, Deadman's Key, and in Port Nelson, Rum Key, 72 in Arthurstown, 73 in Coburn Towns in Salvador. Southeast Bahamas 78s in Duncantown as well as Providenciales, Turks and Caicos, a pair of 79s in Matthewtown and Abrahams Bay, Mayaguana, 75s in Colonel Hill and Delectable Bay, Acklands. Satellite and radar composite at this time, we have high pressure system dominating the area. We do expect a weak frontal system just to clip the extreme northern islands around Monday into Tuesday. Then it should dissipate. High pressure rebuilding across our area, stable conditions throughout the course of the week. Tracking the tropics at this time, tropical cyclone formation is not expected through the next 7 days. Pretty done for the hurricane season, hopefully. Taking a look now at your boating forecast, where across most of the areas pretty stable. Winds variable at 5 to 10 knots, seas 1 to 3, but up to 5 feet in those northeasterly swells. Again in the southeast Bahamas, low tide at 11:19 p.m. tonight, high tide at 5:39 a.m. tomorrow morning. And in your extended forecast, stable conditions for most of the week, some moisture clipping our area on Thursday, but then rebounding into the weekend. Great days for weekend outdoor activities. Get out, do a lot of activities I know are planned for the weekend, especially the jollification. So those high temperatures only in the mid to low 80s, with your low temperatures in the low 70s and dipping down even to the 60s, folks. So enjoy. That's a wrap on your evening forecast. Make it a great, safe, productive week, everyone.
Thanks so much, Ian. Well, the ultimate giveaway continuing to heat up, and our weekly trivia challenges keeping the fun rolling as we count down to that brand new 2025 Hyundai Creta. Last week, we asked you to answer the question, how much does a Hyundai Creta cost? Lots of you got it right, but there can only be one winner. Congratulations to you, Juliet Moss. You've just scored a gas voucher from our friends at Alive and Auto Mall. And if your name wasn't called tonight, we've got a new question dropping this week. Remember to follow our news on your favorite socials and tune in weekly. That Hyundai Creta may just be yours come December. To learn more, head on over to ournews.bs/ultimate giveaway. And join our news starting tomorrow at 8 a.m. for coverage of the advanced poll on your favorite social media platforms. And then tune into our news for a special broadcast at 7 p.m. and 7:30. And with that, we thank you so much for joining us for our News Weekend. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Megan Shepherd. Of a safe and wonderful evening. Hey guys, Megan Shepherd here. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Just click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications so you stay up to date with content like this from the team you already trust.